Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
The #1 national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. Gun Talk, available on iTunes and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for Android and iPhone. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
All right, rounded third, heading to home. Gun Talk in its third hour. Actually, no, we do another hour after this. It's called the after show. It's the secret sauce stuff. It's the not suitable for broadcast hour, so we put it on the podcast. Of course, you can pull that down if you have the Gun Dealio app on your smartphone, Android or iPhone. It'll get it for you, or any other way, iTunes, whatever you're using to get podcast. It's a bunch of fun. It's not quite what we do here. I actually have some people say, well, I like the after show actually a little bit better. Well, we are a little crazier there. And you're welcome to join us there. I like rifles. I like pretty much all rifles, but as Colonel Townsend Wayland is credited with saying, only accurate rifles are interesting. And one of the ways that you make rifles more accurate is you hand load for them. Also, just kind of the fun of picking out which rifle, what caliber, what's best, especially when it comes to hunting. And I have kind of arrived at my own thoughts on that, but a guy that really knows, honestly, more about this than I do, and a friend, has written a new book about this stuff. It's called, weirdly enough, called The Big Book of Gun Gack, The Hunter's Guide to Hand-Loading Smokeless Rifle Cartridges by John Barsness. John joins us right now. How did you come up with this name, dude?
Actually, I didn't. Myself,
Yeah?
I wanted to call it the Hunter's Guide to Hand-Loading Smokeless Rifle Cartridges.
Right.
And my wife, who is my editor and publisher, said, that's really boring. And she was right. So she put, she got on our publishing house has a little Facebook page, and she got on there and asked all the people who buy our books what they thought. They universally voted for Gun Gack and thought it was wonderful. And people, when they call up to order the book, they start laughing while they're saying the name.
Yeah.
So I guess it worked.
The Big Book of Gun Gack. It is, well, eclectic is the word that just leaps into your mind because it's full of reloading data, but it actually is a really good book even if you never plan to reload a single cartridge because you've got all this information and hunting stories and what works and bullet choices and comparing this cartridge with that cartridge. It's kind of an assimilation, is it not, of a lot of the decades of experience that you have.
Yeah, it's not everything I know about hand loading because I learn something new every day, but it's a lot of what I've learned over the years, and it was a lot of fun to put it all together.
Well, it is. Of course, one of the things I learned about this was interesting. Well, let me start off by telling you, and I'll let you fill in. The first centerfire rifle I ever fired was a .257 Roberts. I still own that rifle because it was my mother's .257 Roberts. Now tell me about your .257 Roberts.
My .257 Roberts was my grandmother's hunting rifle. And it finally got to me through 2 or 3 other people in the family who quit hunting, and and several people have used it as their first hunting rifle. Yeah.
Yes. And it's not just that it's still as good as it was, it's better than it was because of the choices we have for ammo and bullets now. Oh, yeah.
Not just bullets and ammo, and it just powders and everything is so much better than it was, even 30 years ago. We have so many more choices now that they can get pretty confusing.
I was going to ask you about that because people hear us say all the time, ammo is better than it used to be. Bullets are better than it used to be, et cetera, et cetera. If you just came into this in the last 10 years, you're going, well, what are you guys talking about? And I try to explain, look, 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, if you were to write to a gun maker and say, look, this rifle only shoots 2.5-inch groups at 100 yards, they'll say, well, what'd you expect? Nobody can get away with that anymore.
No, and as a matter of fact, the trend toward accuracy is so strong that many of the very inexpensive rifles now are super accurate. You can buy.
Absolutely.
A friend of mine says accuracy is cheap these days.
It is. I mean, you look at what Savage has done. You look at the Ruger American rifle, which is stupidly accurate for the dollars spent, and a bunch of other ones the same. I mean, for $500, you can get the accuracy that you would have paid for a handmade target rifle 30 years ago.
Exactly, and you can improve on that a little bit with hand loads, but it's the whole business has gone toward accuracy. Partly the trend is, of course, because of the development of civilian laser rangefinders, affordable laser rangefinders, and everybody thought they could start shooting a little longer, and accuracy became more important.
That's right, because if you're only going to shoot to 300 yards, then a 2-inch rifle is fine. If you think you're going to shoot at 600 yards, then you better have a rifle that'll shoot better than that.
Exactly, and we do, and a lot of people, as I say, it's either in the introduction or on the back of the book, that a lot of people, hand loading isn't just for better accuracy. People are into hand loading for hand loading's sake, just because they really like to do it. Yes,
exactly. And I tell people, I say, you may get into it to save money or for accuracy, but you'll stay in it because hand loading is fun in and of itself. It adds a whole new dimension of, I'm going to make cool ammo. I'm going to make, I'm going to load up some light bullets that go fast. I'm going to load up some heavy bullets. I'm going to try these different ones. I'm going to try and now it becomes a whole thing, and you're hand loading just because it's fun to do the whole process.
Exactly. It becomes more. A lot of people I don't even hunt anymore. They just hand load punch holes in paper. But it's whatever works, as long as we keep pulling the trigger.
One of the things, I want to explain to people this book. It's called The Big Book of Gun Gack. When you go through it, you'll have all these chapters, and they're essentially on different calibers or different caliber ranges, if you will. 204 Ruger, the 221 Fireball. You got the 223, 222. Then you go to the 25s, the 6.5s. Let me ask you about 2 or 3 of these, if I could, because what I want to say to people is, if you have an interest in, should I get a 6.5? Should I get a 243? This book will address a lot of those questions because you kind of go right to the heart of it. So let me ask you, 6.5 Creedmoor, it's kind of the new darling on the block. Is it worth all the attention it's getting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a marvelous cartridge. It's sort of a tweaking of several very similar cartridges, but it essentially was put together for today's short-action rifles, because the cartridge will fit in short-action rifles with some leeway for some of the longer, higher ballistic coefficient bullets that we use now. And it also doesn't kick much. It's super accurate. And it fits right in with somebody who really wants to get into longer range shooting and doesn't want to get kicked really bad every time he pulls the trigger, and it'll shoot marvelously out to 1,000 yards or more.
Okay, you'll love this. I was just out at Gun Sight 2 days ago. I'm talking with Corey Trapp. He's teaching a long range shooting class, and I asked him, I said, Corey, tell me about the 6.5 Creedmoor. And the way he approached it was so funny because it comes from like a long range shooter. He says, well, it's good for those people who just don't like recoil. And if you just want to if you just want to cheat the wind, it's like cheating because the wind doesn't affect. It was all like derogatory. I'm thinking, those all sound like good things to me, Corey.
Yeah, what's his preferred cartridge?
Yeah, well, 308 or 338 Lapua,
Right, exactly.
It was just a funny, I'm thinking, well, those all sound like good things to me. Oh, God. Yep. Oh, all right, if you're truth be known, and you've shot, you guys have hunted, you and your wife have hunted everything everywhere. I have this theory, I want to bounce it off of you, that way too many people buy way too much gun in terms of cartridge for hunting, and then they don't shoot it as well as they should.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that over and over and over again. And it doesn't take as much most big game, as most people think, especially with some of today's bullets. But I think even before some of these bullets were developed, it didn't take as much. Last fall, my wife Eileen killed a cow elk with one shot, just dropped it in its tracks with a .257 Roberts. Amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. How about that?
Yeah. And she just put it in the right place. And it was one of the newer bullets. It was a Barnes triple shock. And the cow just fell over, and then the fun was over. We had to pack it out.
Then the work starts.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't use as much cartridge as I used to because it's 90% shot placement, and then the other 10% is the bullet.
That's it. And as you reduce recoil, your shot placement improves. I'll tell you what I've kind of standardized on is if I'm going to go out and pick up a rifle to go hunt deer or antelope or something, I'm probably going to pick up either a 7mm08 or a .257 Roberts. Oh,
yeah. Those are both marvelous cartridges, don't kick much. And I'll tell you, the 708 is very popular in Montana for elk hunting, even big trophy bolts. Because it doesn't kick much, and it's got, with the right bullets, it's got sufficient penetration. It does the job very well, yeah.
Yep, exactly. All right, the book is called The Big Book of Gun Gack. Now, I see that you have it on your website. Where I want people to go to your website because it's so cool. It's called just simply riflesandrecipes.com. And you guys have got all your books and Elaine's books and your cookbooks and your gun books and all the stuff you guys do right there. Is that the best place for people to get the book?
Yes, it is. But you can also call Eileen at our phone number, which is 406-521-0273, and she can get it on the way too there.
Okay, let me give that out again, 406-521-0273, or you go to the website riflesandrecipes.com, and actually the phone number's on the website there. John, it's a wonderful book. I have not read the whole thing. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's the kind of book that I just sit there and cruise through because each chapter is a mini story in and of itself, and you just learn a lot looking at each one and the new powders and new bullets and what you do with them and the pictures you have. It's just well done, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're liking it.
Absolutely. It's a great book. I recommend it to everybody. Thank you, sir. Tell Eileen hello for me, and we will see you a little bit further up the creek. All right, you take care.
Good.
Get this book. If you are into rifles, if you are into hunting at all, I'm not kidding you now. I'm not making this up. I have no reason to offer this other than the fact that I think it's a good book. It's called The Big Book of Gun Gack. Go to riflesandrecipes.com, and that'll get it. All right, we're open lines for you. What is your favorite hunting rifle / cartridge? And has it changed through the years? Love to get your stories. And pretty much anything else you want to talk about. As long as it's about guns, we'll talk about it because, well, after all, this is Gun Talk.
Experts agree that the low-range variable rifle scope is best for most situations. Now, Trijicon offers a stunning 1-to-6 power variable in the AccuPoint line. Featuring a battery-free illuminated reticle, superior glass clarity, and rugged construction, it's the one scope you need for hunting and competition. Long eye relief, aircraft-grade aluminum housing, manual brightness override. See the 1-to-6 power AccuPoint at Trijicon.com. Trijicon.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Batagroup. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Join the Ruger 2 Million Gun Challenge and help donate $4 million to the NRA Institute for Legislative Action. The NRA ILA is committed to preserving the Second Amendment right of all law-abiding individuals to purchase, possess, and use firearms. And Ruger pledges to donate $2 for each new Ruger firearm sold between the 2015 and 2016 NRA annual meetings. Visit Ruger.com/2 million to learn more and support the NRA ILA by buying a new Ruger firearm today.
Be sure to watch NRA Freedom Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with Freedom Freedom Fighters, American Air Gunner. ATSN, Stop the Threat. GUNTALK TV, Championship Season. Guns and Gear TV. Watch NRA's Freedom Friday, only on the Pursuit Channel, where we deliver the outdoors.
Who will you trust with your guns and valuables? Liberty Safes are the best built and most secure safes on the planet. They sell more gun safes than any other brand. It's about trust earned through performance. If your Liberty safe is damaged by fire or attempted break-in, they'll send a new safe right to your home. Protection from thieves and fire. Trust the #1 maker of quality gun safes. LibertySafe.com.
All right, back with you. 866 Talk Gun get you there. Let's see here. Let's go line 3. John's with us in Salina, Kansas. Hey, John, what you been shooting?
Well, I disappointed Michelle. I started telling her about my 327 Federal Magnum LCR.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I had been listening to the show. I didn't know if she hadn't gotten hers. I figured surely she had, and but we had a nice chat. And
well, I think probably hers came. You know what happened? I think hers came in and somebody else took it. She's been gone from the store for a couple of weeks, and that's what. Hey, you snooze, you lose, man. She may have lost her revolver. You never know.
Well, she said they'd had him through the store, so I didn't feel quite so sorry for it then. But this is the first pistol I've owned. Other than I was telling her, I've had pellet pistols, which are generally pretty accurate. And so I was not expecting much from that short barrel. And I was expecting, obviously, a lot more noise than than a pellet pistol. The guy at the gun store commented when I got the 327 Federal Magnum ammo. He says, it is really loud. So I told her I had earplugs and muffs on. And
smart.
Really was, well, I said rather be overprotected than underprotected. It really wasn't that bad. I was shot some 32 longs through it as well, and I could tell the difference, obviously. And I mixed them in the chamber after I'd shot them each a few times. And I was surprised because it's a double action, but it must have a very good trigger because my accuracy was better than I thought it'd be. I told her about an 8-inch group at 8 to 10 yards, just offhand, with a tailwind. But I was very impressed with that. I said, "Good Lord, this is much more accurate." I just was not expecting that much of a short barrel, and double action. I thought I'd have more flinch than I did. So.
It's a really good double action trigger pull. The Ruger LCR has a terrific double action trigger pull. It's real different from some of the other systems out there. So I'm happy, but I'm not terribly surprised you're able to get good accuracy out of it shooting double action.
Yeah, it exceeded all my expectations. The other thing I was telling her, I looked on the box at the ballistics, not to get too scientific, but it was pretty similar to the 350. I mean, very close to 357 Magnum. And I've never shot my brother's, but he complains about the kick. And the recoil on that small gun was, I thought, very manageable. I was not disappointed at all. It's a sweet little pistol and shot very well. Recoil was manageable. Glad I had me.
Well, that's great. Now, are you going to carry that? Is that going to be a carry gun, or what are you going to do with that?
I am not going to carry it until I've had more training.
Good answer. Good answer.
At some point, it may be, but I was talking to them at the gun shop. I said I've been around shotguns, rifles all my life, and like I said, I have the pellet pistol. But I've listened to you and the podcast now for over a year, and I was telling my brother, who actually has several pistols, I said, we need to go down to Alabama or someplace and get some more training. before you do anything.
There you go. Good on you. Way to go. And the thing is, you'll love it. It'll be so much fun for you, really. So
well,
you'll do it. Listen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Good deal. Well, look, I appreciate the range report. That is terrific. Yeah, the 327 Federal, I'm telling you, it's a sleeper cartridge out there. It works probably better than it should because, well,
it's kind of scientific.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we know that's what it is. Charles is on line 2 out of Arizona. Charles, you're up.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I'd like to find out if you have any opinion about the Hornady critical defense handgun ammo with the FTX flex tips.
Right. Here's the thing. Hornady critical defense ammo is good ammo. It's not like, it's not hugely innovative. Other companies have done the same thing. Hornady does a great job of marketing. It's good ammo. I think it's fine. I think it will work really well in your guns. I mean, the flex tip is going to you can shoot it in a rifle. And that's one of the things they do with that kind of lever evolution thing. So, yeah, I think that will work for you. Let's see. We have time? Yes, we do. Let's get Angie in here, line 1 in Oregon. Angie, we've got about a minute, so dive in with your range report, please.
Yeah, I've got a 44 mag Rossi lever action that this was my first year going hunting with it, and loved it. I'm only like a 5'2" female. So this was so nice to go through the woods with, and I could drop anything with it. So
now, have you shot it with 44 Special for light loads as well?
Yes, I have. I liked all of them. I mean, it just shoots awesome.
That is great. That is so cool that you're using that for hunting and 44 Magnum lever action, and you can shoot, of course, for light loads, you shoot the 44 Special ammo in it. That way you're not beating yourself up. And Angie's right. Feels good when you're carrying it. Of course, lever actions do. They're great carry guns as rifles. And then, 44 Magnum, you can take any deer you want to take with that. I would call that a real honest 100-plus yard gun. Well, it'll do its part if you can do your part. Looking for your range reports. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. I'm Tom Gresham.
You're listening to Gun Talk, now on more than 200 great radio stations. Now, here's Tom.
You know how I mentioned a little bit earlier this bill introduced into Congress by California Democrat U.S. Representative Mike Honda. He wants to be able to expand government-funded research into gun violence as a health care issue, and wants to make it where your physician can ask you all about the guns that you own and what kind of guns do you have and where do you store your guns, and are there any loaded guns? Oh yeah, and by the way, have you felt depressed or anxious or worried? Do you have any problems in your life? Sorry, no guns for you. Well, in this bill, Honda's bill, it's H.R. 3926. 4-page text, it says it's not advocating for gun control, but it is funding research by the Centers for Disease Control into the causes, treatments, diagnosis, and injuries of those killed and injured through the use of firearms. Yeah, right, but they're not going to push for gun control, right? Now, federal research on gun violence as a healthcare issue is pretty much defunded about 17 years ago. And then in January of 2013, President Obama issued an executive order that partially restored it. And as a result of that, the National Institutes of Health has put out an order or a request for more research projects. But what the fun part is, the CDC looked into gun violence as a result of the president saying, you're just going to do this executive order. Their study that they did, the CDC did, They found that defensive gun use was common. They said, defensive gun use was common while mass shootings were not. They also discovered that when guns are used in self-defense, now listen up on this one. When guns are used in self-defense, the victims consistently have lower injury rates than those who are unarmed, even compared to those who use other forms of self-defense. Now, this is consistent with the National Crime Victimization Study, which has been done for decades. If you use a gun for self-defense, you are half as likely to be injured in an attack as if you offer no resistance at all. So people say, just give them what they want. Just give them what they want. Don't fight back. Don't resist. You are twice as likely to be injured if you don't use a gun. So we'll see what happens with this. Now, the legislation, you've got to love this. You're known by who you associate with. Representative Honda's legislation has the support of gun control groups, including the Brady Campaign, the Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, who applauded the congressman's efforts to keep the gun lobby out of the exam room and protect the rights of doctors and patients to have an open and honest conversation about gun safety. They have no rights to ask us about guns. That's not a right. That's just something you want them to do. I love it. They want to keep the gun lobby out of the exam room. Well, so instead we're going to put the gun ban lobby into the exam room? How about if we just don't ask any questions at all? Because it has nothing to do with your personal health. Line 4, John's with us out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Hey, John, what you looking for here? Looking at some rifle calibers?
Well, rifles and pistols, but before we get into that, I just got to comment on what you were just talking about. Is this whole country so stupid that they don't realize that all gun control is the government wanting to take over and not allow us to fight back?
Evidently, a lot of people are that stupid, and they actually buy into the whole, if we didn't have any guns, we wouldn't have any gun violence. That's like saying, if we outlawed drugs, there would be no drugs here. Really? How's that thing working for you?
The bad guys are going to get guns whether they're legal or not. Anyway.
Okay.
My questions were on the rifle as far as hunting goes, and I'm trying to figure out between a 243 and a 308 Laopua, which has the most accurate long range.
Now, are you talking about a 243 Winchester and a 308? Okay. The cartridges themselves are not more accurate or less accurate. You can have an accurate cartridge either way. You're really talking about a huge difference in recoil. The 308 is going to give you longer use or longer range, of course. But there's really no appreciable difference in accuracy.
I guess when I say range, I mean which one's got the better, raise and drop.
Your 308 is going to have more energy out there. But look, here's the thing. The drop doesn't mean anything. We all get caught up with which one shoots flatter. That doesn't mean anything at all. Really, it doesn't. Because we have our scopes now, we can just dial it in. We do use a laser rangefinder. That's 573 yards. Dial in your scope and hold straight on. It doesn't matter what the drop is. It just doesn't. What matters is wind drift and recoil. Can you shoot it well, et cetera, et cetera. And frankly, which one do you want? If you're going to be trying to shoot an elk at 500 yards, I want a 308. I don't want a 243. So then I guess you had a question about pistols too.
Yeah. I'm a rookie hunter, but on pistols, been in it for 40 years. And I mean, I've had everything from 22s to 50 caliber Desert Eagle. But as far as personal defense goes, which is most effective, or what's the difference between a 9, a 40, and a 357 SIG?
All right. Well, what you're going to find is that there's appreciably no difference in the effectiveness in self-defense with these. 9, 40, 357 SIG, you get a little more power, but actually in terms of stopping bad guys, if you're using good ammo, it's not going to make much difference. You're going to have less practice cost with 9mm. You may be able to shoot it more, but a lot of people love the 40s. A lot of people love 357 SIG. You know what? It's like a lot of this stuff. It comes down to personal preference, and gives us something to argue about while we're having a beer together. So there you go. 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in here.
In the field or on the range, you need a trigger you can trust. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. A Timney trigger could mean the difference between a great shot and a miss. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. To order, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now GUNTALK presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGuntalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGuntalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGuntalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGuntalk.com. That's ShopGuntalk.com.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. Get Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at GalleryofGuns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
Brownells has always given you an advantage. With their huge selection of forever guaranteed gun parts, ammunition, shooting accessories, and more. And now, they're offering you the Edge. For just $49.95, Brownells Edge covers your standard shipping and any return shipping cost for 1 year. Brownells Edge members also receive discount expedited shipping and exclusive offers. Get the Edge today by visiting brownells.com/edge.
All righty, Joe writes in, says he's not usually going to call, but he did want to give us a range report. Says shooting the GT20, that's our 10mm SIG that we did a special run of for GUNTALK, and a Glock 40 MOS. Says both a great gun, shoot very well. I bought the GT20 first, love it. Says then I bought the Glock 40 because I wanted a gun to fit with an optic, and Bruce Gray did not recommend modifying the GT20. Bruce Gray, of course, a SIG specialist and makes a lot of cool mods for SIGs and things. Both are very accurate. This is his range report. Both guns are mild recoil. Says the easiest to carry and probably the most comfortable in the hand is the GT20. Said he's been shooting the 210 grain double tap hard cast, and he says loves the single action trigger. Says his shooting is 25 to 28 yards offhand and also from a rest. He's probably going to use it for deer hunting, he says, this year. And maybe using the Glock, maybe set it up with Trijicon Reflex. sounds like he's going to have a bunch of fun. Hey, multiple guns, multiple things to do, try different ammo, put different sights and optics on them, trick them out, do stuff with them. It's what we do because we're having fun with all these things. Brent is on line 3. He is traveling in Kansas. Brent, I understand you're trying an experiment. What you been doing?
Well, no, I didn't try. I tried an experiment. I'm not trying an experiment. I just went. My son and I were coming back from a day of shooting at my friend's house. And I thought, what the heck? We got to stop by and get some groceries. So I thought I'd just walk through the local Walmart there with open carrying.
What were you carrying? What kind of gun?
Glock 19.
Okay. What kind of holster?
Alien gear, actually.
Okay, so it was inside the waistband, but you didn't have it covered. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes. And
okay, so how'd it go?
A double mag pouch on the belt. But it was up against a black T-shirt, and I just really don't think anybody even noticed. Nobody just paid it any bit of attention.
How did it feel doing this?
Strange. So I've been carrying a gun every day for 4 years, concealed every day. You know, Kansas just came with the constitutional carry on July 1st. And I had never bothered open carrying before that. Or anything else, I just thought I'd give it a shot and see what happened.
And nothing happened.
And nothing happened.
There you go. Well, and it all depends. I mean, here's the thing. Remember, there also was the terrible, tragic story of the young man in, I think it was Las Vegas Walmart, where he was concealed carrying, and a security guard saw the gun, called it in, and within minutes, cops arrived. They issued conflicting instructions to him. One of the cops shot, and the rest of them shot. I mean, it killed the guy. I mean, he's legal, carrying a gun, didn't do anything wrong. Vegas PD. They've been involved in a lot of officer shootings, shooting people. A lot of them. Interesting. But yeah, just be careful out there, all right? Jim's on line 2 out of Abilene, Texas. Jim, what you thinking?
Oh, Tom, I just had a question. I've heard so much about the NFA trusts, but and I don't have any NFA items, fully auto or silencers and all that. Right. But I just wondered how effective a trust like the NFA trust would be in the chance that we do get some kind of universal background check where I can't, let my brother, use my dad's rifle to go deer hunting without doing a background check both ways. If we put all of the family-owned heirloom, and we have several, nothing, fantastic, but we have several family-owned firearms, like, Model 12 Winchesters, 7.7 Jap that my dad brought back from Saipan and stuff like that. My granddad's 22, etc.
Well, I know a lot of people have actually done what you're talking about, where they said, I'm just going to put all the guns into a gun trust. And there are a lot of people who've done that. They started out thinking, I'll get a trust for NFA for a suppressor or for a short barrel rifle. But then they put all their guns in there. And then they added their family members or whoever. You can put whomever else you want to put into your trust, get it written up the correct way, do it the right way, make it a true trust. And then anybody in the trust can use the guns because no one person owns the trust. The trust owns the guns. The trust owns the guns. And if you're a member of the trust, then you have access to them. I like your thinking. I'm not sure that's the solution to the universal background check. I think the solution to that is to don't let them do stupid stuff like pass a law for the quote-unquote universal background check, which is not that at all. It is a gun registration/confiscation plan, and it makes it illegal for you to loan your gun to your buddy for the weekend and have him bring it back to you. That would be, actually both of you be breaking the law under the stupid so-called Hillary Clinton universal background check. Give me a break. All right, if you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call right now. We might get you in here, but chances are you're going to end up in the after show, which is, that's fun. You'll be glad you did, as they say. Line 4, Joe's with us out of Fresno, California. Joe, thanks for calling in. What you carrying now?
Hey, I carry a Glock 23 first generation. I still have the original box. I bought it for somebody in 2000. I believe this gun was made like in 1989. At work, I carry a Smith & Wesson M&P. They're very similar, but my Glock 23, I mean, I have people that shoot it, and they're like, they want to buy it off of me as soon as they shoot it. And I don't want to part.
Now, what kind of work do you do?
I work for the Sheriff's Department.
Okay. So you're carrying the M&P at work, but you're carrying the Glock concealed carry. Is it because the M&P is larger, using the full-size M&P for duty?
Yes, we use the full-size M&P. The Glock, it's the Glock 23. It's a little bit more square, more the profile, the bigger, but like I was telling your storefront right there, that I have never, my service weapons, I had a jam, level 3 and stuff like that. The Glock, even though it's built in 1989, it has never jammed on me or never malfunctioned.
Well, there you go. And that's the whole thing, is you got to find what works for you, which fits your hand. And I am convinced that sometimes there's some combinations of shooter and gun that creates malfunctions, and you go, okay, that's just not a gun for you. And you have a stovepipe, or you have, it's commonly called limp wristing, but it may just be the way you hold a particular gun. A different gun fits your hands better, and there you go. That's why we try these things out. By the way, this was interesting. Rasmussen poll says that 77% of likely U.S. voters believe that most politicians raise gun issues just to get elected rather than to address real problems. Yeah. I mentioned earlier about this email from President Clinton and what lies they're telling about guns. Talking about having 300 mass shootings a year, which is nonsense. I just wrote another piece for the Washington Times. My opinion piece this week is all about the lies being told to push gun control and what the truth is behind them. And the whole the piece is titled "The Great Gun Control Con." Gun control arguments depend upon lies, because you have to convince people that gun control is needed because gun crime is increasing. Murders are increasing. But the truth is, the facts are that crime committed with guns is way, way, way down. Murders are way down. Assaults are way down. We have more guns, more gun owners, more people carrying concealed, but fewer, like by half, gun crimes, gun violence. So the only way, given that we have all this good news, and they don't want good news, because good news about crime is bad news for gun control. So they have to basically lie. And I understand the gun control people. I understand the gun ban groups wanting to lie, needing to lie. I get they have to do that to push their agenda. The problem I have is the media won't call them on it. The media won't say, but wait. The FBI says crime is down. The FBI says these semi-automatic rifles are almost never used in crime. Actually, there are more people killed with fists and feet than with semi-automatic rifles. What say you, Senator, to that? Nothing. The media is not just sitting on the sidelines. They are complicit. They're helping the gun control effort, the gun ban movement. Get on board. By the way, check it out. The Washington Times, WashingtonTimes.com. You can see my article there. You could be a part of the Truth Squad. Take all this information, and every time you hear it, every time you see it, challenge it. Say, no. This is the truth. These are the facts. You have to quit lying to the American public. That's what you sign up for when you go to the Truth Squad. You have a safe week. Get to the range. Do some shooting.